Every person struggles with discipline at some point, whether in learning English, building a career, or finding direction in life. That's why today matters. Welcome to our channel, a place where you don't just watch motivational videos, you change your life with every one of them. Today's video is not just information, it's transformation, because we're diving into a system of discipline that has created some of the most successful companies in the world, some of the most focused individuals on the planet, and one of the most respected cultures in human history. The Japanese. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt lazy, unfocused, inconsistent, or like you start something but never finish it? Do you set goals but then lose momentum? Do you say you want to become successful, disciplined, productive, but don't know where to begin? You're not alone. And this video will change that forever. Because the Japanese don't treat discipline as motivation or mood. They treat it as a way of living, a mindset, a daily system, a habit. That gets so deep inside your bones that you don't need to try to be disciplined anymore. You become discipline itself. Today, I'll take you through 7 powerful Japanese rules for discipline. Not just theories, not just tips. I'll explain each rule in simple English, with powerful real-life examples, with clear meaning, and how you can apply it in your own life. Even if you've failed before, even if you feel lost, you'll see why every single rule matters and how it will completely rebuild your mindset, habits, and daily discipline. So, I want you to do one thing. Watch till the end, because one rule might open your mind, but all 7 together will change your life. This is not a motivational speech. This is not a shortcut. This is the truth. And before we start, subscribe to our channel right now. If you want more videos that are truly life-changing, deeply researched, and explained in simple English to not only motivate you, but guide you to success. Let's begin. Rule 1. Kaizen. The discipline of continuous improvement. Kaizen Gishan is one of the most powerful ideas in Japanese culture, and it means change for better, but not big change, not overnight change. It means tiny improvement every single day. Let me explain it like this. Imagine you improve just 1% each day. Not 10%, not 100%, just 1. It sounds small, but if you do that for a year, you won't be 365% better, you'll be 37 times better. That's the math of compound growth. This is the secret behind how Japan became strong, even after World War II destroyed almost everything. Instead of trying to fix everything overnight, they focused on small changes every day in factories, in schools, in homes. One small process improvement, one cleaner desk, one better step in production, one more polite customer interaction. All of these added up and the result transformed their nation. Japanese companies like Toyota, Sony, Honda became world leaders. Real example, Toyota, one of the biggest car companies in the world, didn't rise to the top overnight. They rose to the top because of Kaizen. In Toyota factories, every worker, even the newest one, is allowed to stop the production line for improvement. Imagine that! A billion-dollar car company, and a regular worker can stop the machines just to suggest a small improvement. That's Kaizen. It respects the power of small changes, one factory worker said. At the beginning, I didn't understand why my ideas mattered, but every time I spoke up and made a change, the process improved, and I felt proud, not just to build cars, but to build a better system. That's discipline. That's ownership. That's Kaizen. Now, let's talk about you. You don't need to wake up tomorrow and suddenly become the most productive person in the world. You don't need to become a millionaire in 30 days. You don't need to change your body in 1 week. You just need to start small. Ask one question every day. What can I improve just 1% today? Maybe it's making your bed. Maybe it's reading for 10 minutes. Maybe it's deleting one useless app. Maybe it's writing down your goals. Maybe it's choosing water instead of soda. The action is small, but the discipline unstoppable. If you apply Kaizen, you remove the pressure to be perfect. You stop thinking I failed again. Instead, you start saying I'm improving every single day. And that mindset, that small step repeated daily, will take you to places motivation never could. Kaizen equals continuous improvement. One small step every day. Used by companies like Toyota to build world-class systems. You can use it to improve your life, habits, and mindset forever. Now pause here. Think about your English journey. One word learned daily may seem small, but over a year, that is fluency, confidence, transformation. This is what Kaizen teaches. Stop chasing perfection. Start honoring progress. 1% today might be the reason you stand unshakable tomorrow. And here's the truth. Small steps compound into massive victories, not just in business or history, but in your own life. So, what does this mean for you today? It means you don't need to fix everything right now. You need to start improving one thing. That 1% habit will grow into unstoppable discipline, whether it's speaking English daily, exercising, or pursuing dreams. Kaizen is the bridge between failure and success. And here's the punchline. Greatness isn't built in giant leaps. Greatness is built in invisible daily steps that no one claps for, but transform everything. So if this truth stirs something inside you, hold it. Don't wait. Begin now. Share this discipline with your family, your journey, your future. Because discipline isn't punishment, it is freedom. Freedom from excuses, weakness, and regret. Freedom to live a life of growth, clarity, and unshakable focus. If you're with me on this path, subscribe now. Share this with someone who needs it. And tell me in the comments, what's your 1% today? Rule 2, Ikigai. Find your purpose and discipline will follow. What if I told you you don't need more motivation? You don't need more discipline hacks. You just need a reason, a strong, meaningful, emotional reason to wake up every morning. That's what the Japanese call Iki. What does Ikigai mean? Let's break it down. Iki means life. Gai means worth or value. So Iki means the reason your life is worth living. It's not just your career. It's not just your passion. It's the intersection of 4 powerful things. 1, what you love. 2, what you're good at. 3, what the world needs. 4, what you can be paid for. When you find something that checks all 4, that's your Ikigai. And once you discover it, discipline becomes effortless because now you're not forcing yourself to work. You're being pulled by something greater. You're not pushing, you're flowing. Let me tell you the story of Jiro Ono, a Japanese sushi chef. He's not just any chef. He's over 90 years old. His restaurant has 3 Michelin stars. People wait months for a reservation. Even Barack Obama said it was the best sushi. But here's the most powerful part. Jiro wakes up every single day before sunrise to do the same thing he has done for decades. Make sushi. Now most people would say, isn't that boring? Same rice, same fish, same process. But not for Jiro, because his work is his Ikigai, he once said. Even after decades, I feel like I haven't mastered it yet. There's always something to improve. I just want to make better sushi today than I did yesterday. Jiro isn't doing it for fame. He's not chasing success. He's chasing meaning. And that's why his discipline is unbreakable. Why creates natural discipline? If you don't know your purpose, you will always struggle. You'll hit snooze. You'll avoid hard work. You'll say, I'll start tomorrow. But when you have Ikigai, discipline becomes instinct. Think of it this way. The soldier doesn't need motivation to train because he's protecting his country. The mother doesn't need discipline to care. Her baby is her life. The artist doesn't need to be forced to paint because it's the air they breathe. When you find your Ikigai, you don't need to be pushed. You wake up and move forward because you must. Not because someone told you to, but because your heart demands it. Let's go deep. Here's a step-by-step framework to identify it. 1. What do you love? Ask yourself, what activity makes you forget time? What could you do for hours and never get bored? What excites you when you talk about it? 2. What are you good at, even if you're not the best? Where do you feel confident? Is it writing, teaching, drawing, leading? What do people compliment you on? 3. What does the world need? Look outside yourself. What problem do you want to solve? Who do you want to help? What impact do you want to make? 4. What can you be paid for? You may love playing guitar, but can you turn it into income? This is about purpose. Find the sweet spot where all 4 overlap, even if it's small, even if it's not perfect. Start there. That's your Ikigai. There's a place in Japan called Okinawa. It has one of the highest percentages of people who live past 100 years. And when researchers asked them why they live so long, they didn't talk about diet or exercise first. They talked about Iki. One man said, "Every day I wake up and I have something to do, someone to help, a garden to grow, a smile to give. That's why I live." These people don't retire. They don't sit and wait for death. They live with purpose until their last breath. And that's not magic. That's discipline driven by Ikigai. You might be thinking, but I don't know my Ikigai yet. That's okay. You don't find it overnight. You build it through reflection, action, and courage. Here's how you can start. Start doing more of what excites you, even for free. Explore new skills. Writing, coding, teaching, art. Volunteer for something meaningful. Build side projects around what you enjoy. Say no to things that feel meaningless. Say yes to things that feel like they matter. And most importantly, don't chase money, chase meaning. Because when you create meaning, the money eventually follows. Iki means your reason to live, your purpose. It combines what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. When you live with Ikigai, discipline is no longer a struggle. It becomes your nature. Find your Ikigai, and you'll never wake up empty again. This is what Japanese discipline is about. It's not about being strict. It's about being connected to what matters most. And if you want to understand this concept even deeper, we've already made a full Ikigai book summary on our channel explained in very simple English, so even beginners can understand it easily and learn how to apply it step by step. Watch that video if you're serious about building a life of purpose. Now, pause. Think about your English journey. If learning feels heavy, maybe it's not the words, it's your missing why. What's your Ikigai in English? Is it connecting with people abroad, unlocking career opportunities, or traveling freely? When your reason is deep enough, discipline becomes effortless, not forced. That is the secret. Purpose creates power. Power creates consistency, and consistency builds fluency, strength, and transformation in every area of life. So what does this mean for you today? Stop chasing empty goals. Start asking, why do I need this skill? Why does this discipline matter? And here's the punchline. Without purpose, discipline dies. With purpose, discipline breathes through you like oxygen, natural, unstoppable, alive. So choose your reason, hold it tight, and let it pull you through every struggle until victory becomes inevitable. If this resonated with you, don't keep it inside. Share your why in the comments, because clarity inspires not just you, but others too. And if you're ready for more life-changing lessons, subscribe now. Share this with someone searching for their purpose, and keep walking this journey with us. Rule 3. Shitsuke. The discipline of character and self-control. Let me take you into a part of Japanese culture that most people overlook. Not because it's hidden, but because it's so deeply woven into their daily life that they don't even think of it as special anymore. It's called Shitsuke, and it means something far greater than just manners or behavior. Shitsuke is the deep-rooted discipline of character. It's about how you carry yourself, how you treat others when no one is watching, how you live when there's no reward, no punishment, just you and your inner code. In simple words, Shitsuke is self-discipline that becomes your second nature. It's not something you do, it's something you are. It's not about rules written on a wall, it's about values written in your soul. This is what the Japanese instill from childhood, not by shouting, not by fear, but by repetition, observation, and ritual. Shitsuke teaches you that discipline is not about pressure, it's about practice. Let's zoom into a Japanese elementary school. Every morning, children arrive in clean uniforms, wearing a polite smile, carrying a cloth to clean their school. Yes, that's right. In Japan, students clean their own classrooms, toilets, hallways, and even the lunch areas. There are no janitors. No one is paid to clean after them, because the goal isn't just to keep the school clean, it's to build character. By doing this every day from a very young age, students learn respect for shared spaces, responsibility for their own mess, discipline to act without being told. And here's the most powerful part. They don't complain, because for them, this is normal. This is Shitsuke in action, a daily habit shaping identity, why most people struggle with discipline, and how Shitsuke fixes it. Let me tell you a hard truth. Most people fail to become disciplined, not because they're weak, but because they treat discipline like a temporary tool, something to use only when needed. You eat clean only before a wedding. You study only the night before the exam. You work hard only when your boss is watching. That's not discipline, that's performance. Shitsuke teaches the opposite. It says if something is worth doing, it should be done with care, pride, and consistency, even when no one is watching. Because real success doesn't come from short bursts of effort. It comes from building habits of excellence in silence. You don't become great by doing big things once. You become great by doing small things well every single day without fail. Example, let's look at a traditional Japanese tea ceremony. It's one of the most peaceful, elegant rituals in the world. Every movement from how the host walks, to how the tea is poured, to how the cup is held is practiced with precision and grace. Now, here's the amazing part. This isn't just about tea, it's about mindset. The tea master trains for decades. They practice bowing, pouring, folding cloth, and greeting the guest over and over again. Why? Because every movement reflects your inner discipline. You learn to do everything with care, with presence, with respect. And when that mindset enters your tea ceremony, it eventually enters your entire life. That's Shitsuke. You may not go to a Japanese school, you may never perform a tea ceremony, but here's the truth. You're already building your character every single day. Every time you show up on time or come late, you're training your identity. Every time you clean your space or leave it messy, you're shaping your discipline. Every time you speak with respect or with anger, you're building yourself. You are becoming who you practice being. That's the heart of Shitsuke. It's not about rules, it's about repetition. You don't need to force discipline. You need to design your environment and actions to make discipline automatic. Here's how you can start building Shitsuke today. Respect small tasks. Don't wait for big opportunities to act professional. Fold your clothes neatly. Put your phone in its place. Wipe your desk after use. These tiny habits are where real discipline begins. Repeat with care. Do things the right way, even when they're boring. If you're brushing your teeth, do it with focus. If you're eating, chew with awareness. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. Don't outsource responsibility. Stop waiting for someone else to fix the mess. Whether it's a physical mess, an emotional problem, or a work issue, start with your part. Shitsuke means taking ownership, not making excuses. Teach by doing, not preaching. If you're a parent, teacher, leader, don't just tell others to be disciplined. Be the example. Let your actions teach louder than your words. The difference between a temporary winner and a lifelong champion is not talent. It's not luck. It's not even motivation. It's Shitsuke. It's that invisible character, that internal system, that daily structure, that quiet pride in doing things right. Not once, not twice, but every single time. Shitsuke is the Japanese art of building discipline through character and self-control. It's learned through daily habits, responsibility, and repetition, not punishment. Japanese children clean their schools to learn responsibility. Tea masters train for decades to master presence and care. You can apply Shitsuke by respecting small tasks, owning your habits, and leading by example. Shitsuke turns you from a person who tries to be disciplined into a person who is disciplined naturally, powerfully, and silently. Now pause. Think about your English journey. Do you only study before exams? Only practice when someone checks? That's performance, not discipline. Real fluency is born in silent habits, reading one page, practicing pronunciation alone, respecting your own goals even when nobody watches. That's Shitsuke in action, invisible practice shaping visible results. Quiet consistency creating unstoppable strength. So what does this mean for you today? Discipline must become identity. Don't just act disciplined. Become someone who naturally respects every action, big or small. And here's the punchline. Winners don't rise because of pressure. They rise because their discipline is built into character. And character never fails. So let your habits teach louder than your words. Let your discipline show even in silence, because that is the mark of true strength. If this truth resonates with you, subscribe now, share this message, and comment below. What daily habit is shaping your character today? Rule 4. Kaikaku, the discipline of radical change. There comes a time in every person's life when small improvements are not enough, when routines become traps, when consistency becomes complacency, and the only way to grow is to do something radical. In Japanese, this is called Kaikaku. It means reform, transformation, a complete change of direction, not small edits, not slight adjustments, but breaking the system and building a better one. Kaikaku is the discipline of bold change, not because you feel like it, but because your life demands it. What is Kaku? Let's be very clear. Kaikaku is not a panic move. It's not quitting because things got hard. Kaikaku is different. Kaikaku is when you realize that your current path, your environment, your habits, your lifestyle is no longer helping you grow, and you have the discipline to do something drastic about it. It could mean walking away from a toxic job, not because it's easy, but because it's destroying your future. It could mean deleting every distraction on your phone, even if it feels painful. It could mean changing your circle, your diet, your schedule, or even your identity, because the life you want is not possible with current habits. Kaikaku is not for the lazy. It's not for the comfortable. It's for the courageous. Let's look at a legendary company from Japan, Nintendo. Most people today know Nintendo for games like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, but very few know the story of radical discipline behind its success. Nintendo was founded in 1889, and do you know what they originally made? Playing cards? Handmade for Japanese families. For nearly 70 years, they stayed. But by the 1950s, Demand was shrinking. People wanted something else. This was their Kaikaku moment. They could have kept making cards, stayed in comfort, but instead, the leadership took a massive risk. They began experimenting, not with cards, but with toys, then electronic games, then consoles. And by the 1980s, they launched the Nintendo Entertainment System and completely changed the gaming world. Today, Nintendo is worth over $60 billion, and it all happened because they had the discipline to say, "Our old ways are not our future. Let's destroy what's comfortable and create what's necessary." That's Kaikaku. In Rule 1, we talked about Kaizen, slow and steady improvement. But here's the truth. Sometimes Kaizen is too slow for a life that's falling apart. Sometimes you don't have 10 years to change. Sometimes you need to do something drastic today before you lose more time, more energy, more chances. That's where Kaikaku comes in. It's the moment you stop making excuses. You stop saying someday and you say, "I've had enough. The old version of me ends here. A new one begins now." Let me tell you the story of a man who practiced Kaikaku without knowing the word. He was 38 years old. He had a decent job, a family, a small house. From the outside, life looked fine, but inside, he was deeply unhappy. He was overweight, addicted to junk food and screens, depressed, anxious, and stuck. He kept saying he'd change slowly. He bought books, made resolutions, started routines. But nothing worked because he was trying to fix a broken system inside it. Until one day something snapped. He took a week off, shut off his phone, threw out every processed item from his kitchen, canceled subscriptions, woke up at 5 a.m., walked for 90 minutes, wrote in a journal, and changed everything. Was it easy? No. Was it permanent? Not immediately, but it was the turning point. That's Kaikaku, the decision to burn the old blueprint and draw a new one. How to know if you need Kaikaku? Ask yourself these questions right now. Am I repeating the same problems month after month, year after year? Am I improving or just surviving? Am I still blaming my environment instead of changing it? Am I living with energy or just existing? Am I waiting for the right time to start over? If the answer to most of these is yes, then you don't need motivation. You need Kaikaku. And here's the truth. You already know what needs to change. You've known for a long time. You're just waiting for the pain to get worse. But why wait? Why stay stuck when freedom is one bold decision away? How to practice Kaikaku, even if you're scared. Kaikaku is scary. It requires emotional courage, but you don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to change the right thing boldly and fully. Here's how to start. Identify what's no longer working. Be brutally honest. Is it your routine, your social circle, your job, your health habits? Don't sugarcoat it, name it. Commit to one radical change, not 10 small ones. Just one bold action that changes your direction. Quit the thing you've been tolerating. Start the thing you've been avoiding. Let go of your past identity. Kaikaku requires you to say, "I am no longer who I used to be," even if people don't understand. Even if it feels lonely. You're not here to stay the same. You're here to evolve. Create structure around the new. Discipline doesn't survive on excitement. You must design your environment to support the new version of you. New schedule, new tools, new standards. Be brave enough to break your own patterns. Discipline isn't just about doing more. Sometimes it's about doing completely different. Kaikaku reminds us, you are not a tree. You can move. You can transform. You can reprogram your entire life. If you stop protecting your comfort and start protecting your future. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be done with your excuses and ready for a new chapter. Kaikaku means radical reform, not slow change, but bold transformation used by Japanese companies like Nintendo to pivot and dominate new industries. Applied by people who are tired of repeating the same failures. It's about the courage to break what's comfortable and create what's necessary. You don't grow by staying in systems that shrink you. You grow by changing them. Now, pause. Think about your English journey. Have you repeated the same methods for years? Grammar drills? Vocabulary lists? Yet remain stuck? That means Kaizen alone isn't enough. You may need Kaikaku, a radical shift. Stop old habits. Embrace new immersive methods. Rebuild your approach entirely. That is how breakthroughs happen, not in comfort, but in bold transformation. Sometimes discipline means courage to change direction completely. So what does this mean for you today? If your routines are suffocating growth, burn them. Create new ones that align with your future self. And here's the punchline. Sometimes survival demands Kaizen, but destiny demands Kaikaku. One bold change can rewrite years of wasted time in an instant. So don't wait for the perfect time. That day will never come. Choose courage today, and your new life begins now. If this message hits home, subscribe now, share this with someone who needs courage, and comment below. What bold change must you commit to today? Rule 5. Hans. The discipline of honest self-reflection. In a world obsessed with success, there is one skill most people avoid. One practice. That makes the strongest people stronger, and the weakest people disappear. Self-reflection. But in Japan, this isn't optional. It's a daily discipline, a cultural expectation, and a way of living. It's called Hans, and it means to reflect, to examine, to take responsibility without excuses. What is Hans? Hans is not just thinking about what happened. It's not casual journaling. It's not saying, "Oh, well, I'll do better next time." Han is brutally honest self-evaluation. It is the discipline of stopping everything and asking yourself, where did I go wrong? What mistake did I make? What did I learn? How can I ensure this never happens again? In Japanese culture, even when someone succeeds, they still perform Hans, because the goal isn't perfection. The goal is growth. And growth comes from reflection. Let's go inside one of Japan's most respected companies, Toyota. Toyota is known worldwide for quality, efficiency, and innovation. But do you know what happens after every major project, even a successful one? They hold a Hans meeting. And here's the most shocking part. Even if the project was a complete success, they are required to find flaws. Not optional, required, because in Toyota's culture, if a team says, "We did everything perfectly," they are not praised. They are questioned. Why? Because there's always room for improvement. And if you don't find your mistakes will find you. That's the heart of Hansei. It's the belief that progress dies when ego grows and discipline begins when you become brutally honest with yourself. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about us. Why do so many people stay stuck year after year? It's not because they lack talent or opportunity. It's not even because they're lazy. It's because they lack hon. They don't take time to pause. Reflect. Admit that failure was their fault. That delay was their habit. That broken relationship was their pattern. Instead, they blame, they distract, they numb, they say, "It's not my fault. It's bad luck. It's the system." But here's the truth. You cannot improve what you do not confront, and you cannot confront what you deny. In a Japanese high school, a student scored second rank in the entire class. Most parents would celebrate. But this student's teacher asked one question. "Where did you lose the first mark?" The student was shocked, not because the teacher was angry, but because the teacher believed in Hans. It wasn't punishment, it was discipline, a way to grow beyond success. Later, the student said, "That moment changed how I saw achievement. I learned that even when I win, I must still ask, how can I be better?" That's Han. That's how champions are built. Not through praise, but through reflection. Discipline isn't just about action, it's about correction. And correction comes from awareness. Think of your life like a train. Kaizen helps you improve the engine. Ikigai gives you a reason to ride. Shitsuke keeps you on track. Kaikaku lets you change direction. But without Hans, you'll never know if you're going the wrong way. You'll keep going faster in the wrong direction. Hans is the mirror, the checkpoint, the moment of truth. This isn't about writing your feelings, it's about becoming a better human. Student or leader, through clear, honest, unfiltered reflection, here's how to do it. End every day with reflection before sleeping. Ask, what did I do well today? Where did I waste time? What did I avoid? Who did I hurt? What am I proud of? What must I change? Spend 5 to 10 minutes. Be specific. Be real. Turn reflection into action. Reflection without change is useless. If you wasted time, set limits tomorrow. If you realize you were rude to someone, apologize first thing in the morning. If you skipped your workout, schedule it like a meeting. Teach others through on. If you're a parent, boss, or teacher, teach people to reflect, not just react. After a mistake, don't ask, why fail? Ask, what did you learn? How will you approach this next time? This builds emotional maturity, and emotional maturity leads to emotional discipline. Perform monthly Hon checkpoints, once a month. Take 1 to 2 hours alone. Reflect on the last 30 days. Ask yourself, did I grow? Did I repeat any bad habits? Am I becoming someone I respect? What must I fix immediately? Use this time to reset and refocus. It will make you wiser because you'll learn faster than others. It will make you humble because you'll stop blaming and start owning. It will make you stronger because you'll spot weakness before it destroys you. And it will make you disciplined because you'll never let mistakes repeat. This is how the Japanese become masters of their craft. Not just good workers. They look back so they can move forward better. Hans means deep, honest, and consistent self-reflection, practiced by companies like Toyota and taught in schools to build character. It's not about guilt. It's about growth. Without reflection, discipline becomes blind repetition. With reflection, discipline becomes intelligent evolution. Now, pause. Think about your English journey. Do you ever say, I keep forgetting words, I freeze when speaking, yet never stop to ask why? That is the missing Hans, honest reflection. Not blaming the method, not blaming time, but asking, what mistake did I repeat? And how can I fix it? So what does this mean for you today? It means fluency, growth, and discipline don't come by accident. They come when you pause and reflect. And here's the punchline. People who reflect grow twice as fast. People who deny stay stuck forever. Your choice is simple, blame or build. So tonight, take 5 minutes, reflect honestly, write it down, and tomorrow, act differently. That's how small mistakes stop controlling your future. If this resonates with you, subscribe now. Share this with someone who avoids reflection. And comment below, what lesson did your last mistake truly teach you? Rule 6, Gaman, the discipline of endurance, strength, and silent power. There are 2 kinds of strength in this world. The loud kind, muscles, shouting, breaking limits on camera, and the silent kind, enduring pain, holding emotion, staying calm in the middle of chaos. Gam is the second, and it is one of the greatest forms of discipline you can ever master. Gam comes from two Japanese characters, ga meaning self, man meaning to tolerate or to endure. So together, gaman means to hold the self to endure with dignity, to face difficulty with patience and inner strength. But it's not just about patience. It's about controlled strength, the kind that doesn't need noise, the kind of strength that doesn't need to scream to be real. We live in a world where people are taught to show everything. You feel angry, explode, you feel tired, quit, you feel pain, complain, you face failure, blame. But the Japanese practice something different. They face hard times, and they don't break. They don't make noise. They don't beg for sympathy. They quietly endure and keep moving forward. That is gaman. It's not weakness. It's not suppression. It's mastery of self. On March 11th, 2011, a massive earthquake and tsunami hit Japan. Over 20,000 lives were lost. Cities were destroyed. Families vanished. The world watched in shock. But what truly stunned everyone was how the Japanese people responded. There was no looting, no screaming, no violence, no chaos. Instead, there were long queues for food, people sharing water, neighbors helping each other, children bowing to emergency workers, old men carrying their own bags even after losing everything. No one was asking why me. They simply said, "We must move forward together." That is gaman in its purest form, the discipline to suffer with strength, to remain calm, to carry pain without passing it to others, to remain calm even when your world collapses. Discipline is not just about what you do. When life is easy, it's about who you become when life is unfair, hard, or hopeless. When your plans fail, when someone betrays you, when your body is in pain, when you're tired, scared, and broken. Do you panic? Do you give up? Or do you sit with your pain? Breathe through it and say, "I will survive this, and I will not let it destroy who I am." Gaman is not about pretending things are fine. It's about not letting pain make you someone you're not. That is real discipline. That is real strength. In 2019, at the All Japan University Women's Ekodan Race, a marathon relay, something unbelievable happened. A 19-year-old runner, Rei Ida, was running her stretch of the race. Suddenly, she fell and fractured her leg. She couldn't stand. She couldn't run, but her team was counting on her. So, what did she do? She crawled on her hands and knees for over 200 meters, bleeding on the asphalt. She crawled to reach her teammate so the race could continue. The audience was in tears, but she never cried. She never stopped. When asked later why she didn't quit, she simply said, "I had to pass the sash. That was my duty." This is gaman, the discipline to keep your promise. Even when your body wants to collapse, you endure. You may not be in a marathon. You may not be in a tsunami, but you face pain. 2. And now you must endure. Sit with discomfort instead of escaping. Next time you feel anxiety, sadness, or boredom, don't run to your phone. Don't drown it with food. Don't scroll endlessly. Just sit, breathe, observe. Say to yourself, "I am strong enough to feel this and survive it." Practice this and grow unshakable. Speak less. Endure more. Complain never. Gaman teaches you to suffer with grace. It doesn't mean silence forever, but it means not performing every problem. Ask yourself, do I talk about my problems more than I solve them? Do I seek sympathy instead of solutions? Strength isn't loud. It's controlled. Choose dignity over drama. Life is not fair. People will hurt you. Things will break. But you must choose how you carry pain. Gaman says, even in suffering, carry yourself with honor. with kindness, with peace, because how you suffer becomes your legacy. Remember, storms pass, but character stays. Pain is temporary, but what you build inside yourself through that pain, that's permanent. When you practice Gaman, you become unbreakable. It will make you calmer in a world full of noise. It will make you stronger when others collapse. It will give you respect, because people admire those who hold themselves with grace. And it will give you inner peace, because you'll stop running from pain and start using it. Gaman is not just about patience. It's about becoming undefeatable without ever raising your voice. Gaman is the Japanese discipline of endurance. Patience, silent strength, it means staying calm, steady, and graceful even in pain. Loss or failure, practiced during disasters, taught through culture, and lived through everyday discipline. Gaman makes you emotionally powerful, spiritually mature, and unbreakable under pressure. It's not loud, it's not proud, but it's the kind of strength that changes everything. Now pause. Think about your English journey. Do you give up when speaking feels hard? When mistakes sting? When fluency feels far away? That's when Gaman matters most. Endure the embarrassment. Push through discomfort. Stay calm in the chaos of learning. Silent endurance becomes unstoppable progress. So what does this mean for you today? It means don't collapse when learning is painful. Endure. Quiet strength will carry you farther than talent. And here's the punchline. Loud effort impresses for a moment. Silent endurance builds unshakable greatness. The strongest voices are often those who never need to shout. So embrace Gaman. Let struggle shape you, not break you. Let pain refine you, not define you. That is true discipline. If this touched you, subscribe now. Share this with someone who needs endurance. And comment below. What challenge will you endure with silent strength today? Rule 7. Uji, the discipline of cleanliness, clarity, and inner order. If your mind is full of stress, if your life feels chaotic, if you can't focus, can't think, can't breathe, then maybe the problem isn't just your goals. Maybe the problem is your space, your habits, your surroundings. Because the final and deepest truth of Japanese discipline is this: outer order creates inner peace. And the way they master that truth is through Osoji, the ancient Japanese practice of cleaning, decluttering, and spiritual purification through physical order. But let me be clear, Osoji is not about tidying, it's about clearing space to become your highest self. The word oji simply means cleaning, but in Japan, it's not just a task. It's a ritual, a philosophy, a mental transformation. Uji is a form of daily meditation. Through physical action, it's the belief that a clean room is not just beautiful, it's sacred. That a clear desk is not just neat, it's powerful. That a home without clutter is not just pretty, it's a foundation for clarity, focus, and mental strength. Let's take one of the most respected services in the world, the Japanese bullet train or Shinkansen. Thousands of passengers use these trains every day, and yet, in just 7 minutes, a small team cleans the entire train. Every seat straightened, every table wiped, every trash item removed, every window spotless. It's called the 7-minute miracle. But here's what most people miss. The workers bow before they enter each train, not to impress, but to show respect to the passengers, to the space, to the work. This is Osoji. This is the mindset that says, the way I treat this space is the way I treat my life. That's discipline. That's pride. That's power. If you feel lost, unmotivated, mentally stuck, chances are you're not just distracted. You're cluttered. Your room is a mess. Your phone has 1,000 notifications. Your desktop has 400 icons. Your closet is filled with unused clothes. Your kitchen is full of things you don't use. Your mind is full of thoughts you don't need. And this chaos kills discipline. Because when you live in clutter, your brain can't focus. It's constantly managing decisions, noise, overwhelm. And the more clutter you collect, the weaker you become. Uji fixes this at the root. By teaching you how to clean your space, you learn how to clean your life. A young man once joined a Buddhist monastery in Japan. He was expecting to meditate, study, and learn wisdom. Instead, for the first 12 months, he was told clean. That's it. No scriptures, no silence, no philosophy, just clean. Floors, toilets, walls, shoes, windows. At first, he was frustrated, then angry, then exhausted. But slowly something changed, he said. As I cleaned the dirt from the floor, I noticed the dirt in my mind. As I organized the shelves, I felt my thoughts begin to align. As I scrubbed the stains, I realized the anger I held. And one day, without anyone teaching me, I found peace. This is Osoji, not cleaning to look good, but cleaning to become clear. You don't need to be a monk. You don't need to be in Japan. You just need to respect your space and realize it reflects your soul. Here's how to start. Create a sacred morning cleaning ritual. Every morning before you touch your phone, spend 10 to 15 minutes cleaning something around you. Make your bed perfectly. Wipe down your desk. Open your windows. Straighten your books. Clear your kitchen table. This small act will ground your mind. Today, I control my world. Remove 5 things you don't need. Every day, every single day. Get rid of 1 item you never use. 1 file you don't need. 1 photo that drains you. 1 app that wastes your time. 1 belief that no longer serves you. Uji isn't just about cleaning things. It's about cleaning energies. Make space for the life you say you want. Build a zero-clutter workspace. Where you work is where your mind lives. So make it clean, quiet, powerful, no distractions, no junk, just clarity. And when you sit there, you'll feel focused automatically because your environment will support your discipline. Perform a full Osoji ritual monthly, once a month. Do a complete cleansing of your space. Vacuum every corner. Dust every shelf. Organize your wardrobe. Take out every drawer. Sort, donate, discard, refresh your entire home. As you clean, say to yourself, I am not just cleaning this room, I am cleaning my spirit. I am preparing for higher life. That's the discipline of Osoji. It teaches you that discipline is not just in the mind. It begins in your environment. It teaches you that your external world reflects your internal world. It teaches you that beauty, clarity, and peace can be created, not found. It teaches you to respect everything you own and reject everything you don't need. This is why the Japanese are admired not just for productivity, but for purity of thought, design, behavior, and life because they live with order. And order leads to focus, and focus leads to greatness. Osoji is the Japanese discipline of cleaning, clearing and respecting your space. It is practiced in homes, schools, temples, and even bullet trains. It is more than cleaning. It is a form of spiritual purification. A clean space leads to a clear mind. A clear mind leads to focused action. Osoji is how you train your discipline to start the moment you wake up in the world around you. We've just walked through 7 powerful Japanese rules of discipline. Rules that are not just ideas, but living principles that shaped a nation admired for strength, order, and resilience. But now the real question is not about Japan. It's about you. Will you continue living the same way? Distracted, unfocused, waiting for the right time? Or will you take these 7 rules and make them the backbone of your life? Because discipline is not about being strict. It's not about punishment. It's not about forcing yourself. Discipline is about living with purpose, clarity, strength, and dignity. It's about becoming the kind of person who cannot be broken no matter how tough life gets. And here's the truth. If you apply even one of these rules today, your life will start to change. If you apply all 7, transformation comes. Your life will never be the same again. So take these lessons, live them, breathe them, pass them to your children. Build a life that you can look back on and say with pride, I lived with discipline. I lived with meaning. Because one day, time will test you, and in that moment, motivation won't save you. Excuses won't protect you. Only discipline will. This was not just a video. This was your wake-up call. Now it's your choice. If you want more life-changing lessons in simple, easy-to-understand English, make sure you subscribe to our channel right now. Watch our other videos. Share this with someone who needs it. And most importantly, apply what you've learned today because the world doesn't change when you watch. The world changes when you act. Thank you for watching. And remember, discipline is freedom. Discipline is strength. Discipline is the path to the life you deserve. Now pause. Reflect deeply. Which of these 7 disciplines must you apply first? Write it below. Share it with others. Let your voice inspire. And here's the punchline. Knowledge without action is wasted. Discipline without application is empty. But when you live it, everything around you changes forever. So tell me in the comments, which Japanese discipline speaks most to your journey right now, and how will you start applying it today?